Hello, everybody. Joe Bacon Donuts here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Last time we left off, yeah, Shannon got it. Genji kind of really helped her along, or Yasuda got it through Beatrice and Shannon. The individual previously known as Yasuda cracked the code with Genji being very obvious with some hints. And yes, I know. You people could have brute forced the problem if they are good at mysteries. However, I am not. Well, not even brute force. They could have just, made assumptions with like quadrillion and just shotgun approach, and one of those pellets would hit. Either that, or they're way super fucking smarter than me and knew all along. In which case, haha, yes, you got me. I'm dumb. Is what it is. Moving on. I really don't have anything else to say other than I'm really tired today. Again, I've been getting some dog shit sleep recently. I think it's because it's getting warmer outside, and I haven't put in my window AC unit yet. I've just been sleeping with the fan on, just absolutely blasting me like I'm in a wind tunnel. I wake up with my throat feeling like it's made of sandpaper. However, it does feel nice. Not my throat, but the rest of my body, getting blasted by the fan. It's a real fucking chunky box fan, but my god, will it, almost rip the fucking sheets off my bed when it's turned on. I love it. Anyway, quadrillion. I need to click on the screen. There's only one place you'll find that word on Rokenjima. Gold butterflies flitted from shadow to shadow, dodging raindrops.
I
guessed the chapel before. It was the chapel. That mysterious building, one of the oldest on Rokenjima, which had been built at the same time as the mansion. Again, not saying much. The building's like 30 years old. It was called the chapel, but not once had Kinzo used it for worship, and the members of the family had never been allowed inside. There were strict orders that none approach without reason, and its purpose was always a mystery. However, any mystery will lose its luster after several decades. At some point, everyone forgot the chapel even existed, and that splendid building passed from the thoughts of Rokenjima's residents. Of course, this had been true for Beato as well. Beato, who hated boredom, had no desire to approach places that humans never went. The last memory of the place was the time she went in to taunt Shannon, and as she tried to clean. Beato looked up, above the door of the chapel. There was a relief displayed over an arch. English words were written there. What Yep. Oh, my mic. I was trying to knock some dust off my pop filter, but I completely lost all control of my motor functions and just punched it. Weird. Just absolute arm spasm and just whack. It's like I fucking rolled a 1. Critical failure. This chapel was built long ago. If there was a mechanism like the one I imagined, Kinzo must have prepared that epitaph riddle many decades ago. It must have been planning to use it as a ritual for choosing a fitting successor all this time. However, that ritual is now a ritual to open the door to the Golden Land and to my resurrection. When I snapped my fingers, the ground bulged, and several dead trees sprouted out of it, curving and twisting like snakes. They twisted around each other to form a ladder, which leaned itself against the door. I slowly climbed the ladder. Because of the size of the door, the relief was very high up. This close up, it looks much bigger than it did from the ground.
そういえば礼拝堂を大掃除するとき
What, are you telling you not to touch it?
あの源氏がわざわざこのレリーフだけは自らの手で磨いてい
Yeah,
た
can't have someone spoiling the fun.
その程度のことなぜ若い使用人に任せぬのかと不思議に思っていたものだが
I thought it strange, but nothing more. The master treasured this relief, so the head servant cared for it himself. I always accepted that excuse. But now, I understand. There must be a trick to this relief. As Genji polished it himself to make sure that no one else accidentally found out. Quadrillion.
クワドリリオンから鍵の選びし6文字を生贄に捧げるという
I prodded and played with the letter Q. My fingertips were soon covered with dust. However, I quickly realized that something felt strange about it.
この文字マスピアそうでなくてはならんでなくては生贄に捧げられぬからな
Does it, plop out? Bito grabbed hold of the letter Q, and after experimenting with the different levels of force, the letter came out with a scraping sound.
やはりな
Here's the Q I pulled out, and there's a wedge. No, it's a key. A key was attached to the back of the Q, and that had been stuck into a keyhole in the relief.
そういうことかならばあとはわかるぞよしよしこの9の鍵は違うお前は外れだ
Bito carelessly tossed the Q key aside. This was the first sacrifice. She kept on pulling out the keys for the 6 letters representing the key.
A も生贄であるなそして I も2つ生贄だ最後の N も生贄か L は1文字を生贄であるが困ったぞ L は
There were 2 L's. I didn't know which one I should sacrifice. I tried pulling both out, but the keys were different shapes. So, one is the right answer, and one is a wrong answer.
どうせ2通りしかない誤りだったらもう片方を試せばいいだけの
Unless messing up sets off a trap that blows up the island, of course. I was just about to make that comment. Thinking it a waste of time to sit here worrying, I decided on the L on the right and pulled it out. 5 letters remained in the word.
これにて第1の番は終了だ続いて第2の番
Separate the 2 that are close. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close.
D と R が寄り添っているなこれを引き裂くとはいかに抜けばよいのか
But if I do, then there'll be only 3 letters left. I don't know, move the R over one? By this point, I was able to make a good guess at what the gouge and kill lines from the 4th Twilight onwards meant.
えぐりて殺せはおそらく鍵をひねって回してから引き抜けという意味であるに違いないとなれば頭から足は
Oh yeah, like gouge, like
左の文字鍵から右へ順にそれを行え
that brings to mind kind of a
違いあるまい
twisting motion. Oh yeah, okay, I can see if the word is a body, then, you know, Q is the head, and N is the feet. If that's the case, 5 letters have to remain on the board. In other words, tear apart doesn't mean kill.
それで引き裂けと考えた場合この D と R 2字の間隔を空けよと読み取れるなしかしどうやる
I'll take it out and put it in the L.
またしてもや
I
り
mean the
方は
I.
2通りであるぞ
Do I remove the D and move it to the left? Do I remove the R and move it to the right? After pondering this for some time, I realized that both choices were wrong.
違うそうではないのださっきの L から間違っていた
A short while ago, I remove the right of the two L's. However, if I remove the left one, it would look like this. We can line it up this way. It's easy to see the next step. The R gets shifted to the right. Yep, and then there's a one-letter gap between all of them. This way, all the letters are spread out evenly. This must be it.
そして次がまた難題であるぞ。我が名を称えよと。
It's already clear that this is a word game. Those who shall praise my noble name. Am I supposed to do something with the remaining 5 letters? Most likely, rearrange them.
U D R L O
You got me beat there.
この5文字をどうにかすると何かの意味になるということか。
I mean, you can spell out Lord, but then you're stuck with a U. I don't know. Praise my name.
ここまで来てわけのわからぬ謎をこの5文字でどう我が名とやらを称えろというのか。
Unless there's some, like, French pronunciation where, you know, Lord is spelled with a U. That man's name is Ushirmiya Kinzo. Is the U part of... is the U part of Ushirmiya? No, several letters don't match, and there aren't nearly enough letters to make Ushirmiya.
我が名とは金蔵を指すことだけは間違いない。ならばやはり U は後ろ宮を指すのか。イニシャルであると。
Lord U?
ならば D R L O
Okay,
は
so I was pretty close with my initial guess.
金蔵も意味せん R O でまさか六軒島を
I can't see that.
六軒島の主金蔵
Yeah.
字数がまるで足らぬ。
It would also be odd to, shorten down Rokenjima to R-O, considering, the way, that Rokenjima would be broken up kanji-wise. And even, like, naming convention-wise, like, Jima is usually, like, I'm pretty sure it just means island. So, really, it would be like the island of Roken or something. Whatever, the kanji for Roken stand for. It sort of left me totally confused. However, there were only 5 letters left. There can't be so many possible combinations of those letters. I could use the process of elimination. Thinking I'd play around with it, I pulled out the U. There were 4 letters left. D, R, L, and O. Got a light bulb moment? My idea that the U stood for Ushirmiya was like a heavenly oracle. When I removed the U, I thought of making a word with the remaining 4 letters. D, R, L, and O. Those 4 letters spun around in my head, changing their orders, and led me to a single English word that would serve to praise Kinzo.
ロードだ。ロード。
I had absolutely no basis for it. However, it was like a flash of inspiration. I quickly changed the letters around before the flash faded from my mind.
L O R D ロード U 後ろ宮卿どうか第4の番に頭をえぐりって。
Oh, so now you gotta twist them? It was a key, so it wouldn't turn if it was the wrong one. But it did turn. I could gouge it. With the sound of scraping stone, I gouged the first letter, the L, and then pulled it out.
次第5の番胸をえぐりて殺せ。
The O was gouged and pulled out easily. Then the R. Next, the D. And finally, the U. When I turned the key of the U, I could feel a resistance, as though some mechanism had been activated. I waited for something to change, but nothing did. However, I had felt that something happened. A secret door or something must have opened up somewhere around here. Waiting around won't accomplish anything. I've probably done everything I can here. All the letters in quadrillion had been removed.
第9の晩に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。
So now, has the witch, have I revived? The 10th twilight. The journey ends, and so you shall reach the home with the gold. When I stepped down off the ladder and looked around, I immediately noticed that small change.
ライオンの像が。
I had noticed that before. I did bring it up when, I think it was when Anjay was, at Kumasawa's, son's house, that the lion was facing the wrong way. Which is very odd that she would have a picture of the entrance in its activated phase. At some point, the lion statue in front of the chapel had turned to face a different direction. An elaborate mechanism. Did Kinzo plan this extravagant device back when he first started building this island? I walked up to the lion statue and stared at it. Other than the fact that it was pointing in a different direction, nothing had changed. In that case, is the lion looking at something in particular now? I followed its line of sight and saw another lion statue. And that lion statue had also changed its direction. Alright, what was the mechanical, linkage to make this happen? Is it, hydraulically, actuated? It wants to be facing in the direction it's facing right now, but there's, a stopper in place whenever, the keys haven't been turned? Yeah, it's cool you did this, but, how, though? That stuff needs to get maintained. Is, Genji coming here in the middle of the night and, servicing the the hydraulics? Because that stuff leaks. It's a very good lubricant, which means it likes to find its way out of whatever it's in, especially when it's under high pressure. And that lion statue had also changed its direction.
なるほど。ライオンの道案内に従え。金蔵。凝った仕掛けを作りおる。
I wasn't complaining anymore. I felt a bit of respect and awe at Kinzo for setting up such an intricate device, and having it go undiscovered for all these years. There were lion statues standing like guards at the entrance and the corners of the chapel. The direction they faced had changed, pointing around to the back of the chapel. There was something there. It was no longer a surprise. This was after the mechanism and the relief, after being guided by the lions. So, when a gaping, open secret passageway appeared, with stairs leading down to the darkness below, it wasn't surprising to me anymore. Yeah, it's very matter of fact.
黄金鏡への入り口だというのか。金蔵。 見つけたんですか、おじい様の。
Well, yeah, of course.
はい、長い長い時間をかけてたどり着いた黄金鏡でした。
過去のゲームによるならば、そこには地下の貴賓室があり、そして10トンの黄金が。
はい、地下への武骨な階段を降りていくと、突き当たりには扉が。中はまさに貴賓室と呼ぶべき美しき内装でした。
見つけたのは黄金だけだったのか。
はい、その時は。
at the time.
積み上げられた黄金に目がくらまぬわけもありませんでした。
Also, man, what a shitty wiring setup. At least, like, insulate your pipes in, like, I don't know, plastic or something. Don't just leave your wires dangling.
これは本物なのか。
I lightly touched the pile of gold with my finger. It was hard and cold. I had almost thought that it might crumble like a sandcastle if I touched it. Now, there could be no doubt. This certainly was a 10-ton pile of gold ingots. Considering the amount of gold I had just found, I figured I ought to be crying out of delight. I didn't really feel like laughing, but I thought it only good manners to do so in a situation like this. So I forced it out. Because of this, only a few feeble laughs slipped from my mouth. At that moment, even stronger than any delight, was a feeling as though I'd entered a place I wasn't supposed to be. For a while, all I could do was stand there shocked, unsure what I should do now that the epitaph's riddle had been completed. Then, I heard approaching footsteps. They were coming from the stairway I'd entered. I mean, yeah, it makes sense you would have some kind of monitoring device that would trip when, someone completed the riddle. Someone was coming. Could it be Kinzo? If he finds out I've been in a place like this, won't I get scolded harshly? I thought about hiding and pretending this never happened, but my legs wouldn't move. And then the Beatrice persona slips and the Yasuda behind the mask appears, like, oh shit, ooh boy. I kept standing there, stunned, in front of the pile of gold, as the footsteps drew closer and closer. The door opened, and I saw who it was. It wasn't Kinzo. Hey, Genji.
そなたは。
自分の力だけでたどり着いたのか。
For the most part. I mean, you threw a bone, but other than that.
うん。
For some time, Genji stared at Beato in silence, as though he was calculating something. Then, he slowly clapped his hands together. He did it again, over and over. It took quite a long time before I realized that he was applauding me.
親方様は碑文を最初に解いた者に黄金と家督のすべてを譲り渡すとおっしゃられた。そしてその人物がベアトリーチェであると信じた。
Well, she did have help.
ベアトリーチェ。私が。
これは運命だ。お前は今日を迎えるのが運命だったのだ。
You know, you just guided the river a little bit. You know, put up some dikes and eddies, and maybe dammed a couple ways to get fate to flow in the right direction. I didn't really understand what Genji was saying. The shock of seeing the gold still had me paralyzed.
こっちへ来なさい。
はい。
Genji opened a closet. Inside it was a dress from wearing a. Inside it was a dress from wearing a beautiful dress made out of black cloth and gold stitching. What? Form. It was a dress form, not from form. Okay, so it's like one of those little mannequins that you put it onto to help it keep its shape, instead of like on a hanger, because that wears and like causes it to like sag over time. Gotcha. I'm dyslexic. If you make fun of me, you're ableist, and kill yourself. When I saw it, I understood immediately. It was the witch's dress. The black dress worn by the Beatrice in the portrait.
これに着替えなさい。
In Minecraft, of course. Don't do it in real life.
これは
かつてお前が着ていたものだ。
I've never worn a dress like this. However, I understood what Genji meant. This dress was the one that Beatrice once wore. And the one who showed a miracle by solving the epitaph is Beatrice. Damn, good thing Goda didn't find it, huh? By reaching this room, I had succeeded the position of the real Beatrice, the one in the portrait. Why do I call myself Beatrice? Because the name of the Golden Witch who rules over Rokenjima's night is Beatrice. That's right. I was never the real Beatrice. I was a different witch, stealing the name of the witch from Kinzo's delusions. And now, I've become the real Beatrice. By solving the epitaph's riddle, I would achieve my resurrection. I was the one who decided on that rule, or so I thought. But as it turns out, this really was a ritual to resurrect Beatrice. I believed that I could create my own fate with magic. I was a master of that magic, yet fate led me here by the hand. At this moment, I was forced to truly accept and believe in the word called fate.
これを着たら
親方様のところへ行く。支度をしなさい。
Yeah, he's gonna probably snot everywhere. He's gonna ugly cry.
はい。
親方様、源氏でございます。
After Genji knocked, the sound of the study's door unlocking could be heard. After a single glance telling me to wait, Genji entered alone.
このような日が来るとは、運命とは本当に不思議なものです。
Kumasawa was with us too. I thought this dress, which didn't really suit me, would lead to a lot of jokes, but she didn't laugh at me at all. On the contrary, when she saw me, her expression had turned stern, as though a long-awaited day had finally come. My heart raced. It wasn't supposed to matter who solved the epitaph. There shouldn't be anything strange about me solving it. Everyone else maintained solemn expressions, and that, along with everything else, made this feel like some sort of grand ceremony. The suffocating silence continued. Eventually the door opened, and Genji peeked out.
お入りください。ベアトリーチェ様。
He was saying those words to me, but not the person I had been until a short while ago.
さあ、どうぞ。ベアトリーチェ様。
Kumasawa also urged me forward with a respectful bow. Kinzo was probably waiting for me inside. What expression should I wear on going in? How should I greet him? I don't have a clue. As the two of them motioned me forward, it was all I could do to avoid tripping over my dress as I walked.
金蔵さん、いらっしゃいましたぞ。
Is he looking out the window dramatically? Kinzo's before the portrait of Beatrice, crouched on the ground as though kneeling. At Nanjo's words, he slowly turned, still crouching. Kinzo's eyes were already red with crying. When he saw me, he groaned with wonder.
ベアトリーチェ。ベアトリーチェ。
Had he even forgotten how to stand up? He crawled over to where I was. As he called out to me with the name of the woman he had loved long ago. I was too stunned to move. Then, Kinzo grabbed the hem of my dress, gripped it tightly, then curled up and sobbed.
ベアトリーチェ。すまなかった。すまなかった。お前の心は分かっていた。
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
私は何と言う。
That's real bad.
すまなかった。許しておくれ。
It's a good thing you lost custody of that kid. Unofficially, of course. There was nothing I could say. However, just standing like this was all I needed to do. Kinzo's moment of atonement, the moment he had spent half of his life searching for, had finally come. A human's life is packed with sin, so humans seek forgiveness while they still live. However, in most cases, there are none in this world capable of giving such forgiveness. It was like that for Kinzo. There was no longer anyone in the world who could give that to him. But a miracle had woven one together, and in this moment, he had obtained the impossible.
Beatrice! Beatrice! たとえ許してくれなくてもいい、何も言わなくてもいい。私はお前にただ一言謝れればそれでよかった。
Kinzo kept grasping the dress's hem and sobbing. The sins of humans are not forgiven by other people. They are forgiven through regret and repentance. I want to believe that some sin, some fault of his, had been forgiven thanks to the way I look. Kinzo's sobbing gradually ceased, and he slowly looked up at me and rose. He staggered. Nanjiro rushed forward to support him.
よくぞ生きていてくれた。嬉しいぞ。
This time, his words weren't directed through me, but at me. Yeah, now that, from the sounds of it we got last time, Kinzo was, piecing it together, but, this is the definitive, like, oh shit, no, yeah, it's you, huh? I hesitated, unsure how I should respond.
今日まで親方様に内密にしておりましたことをどうかお許しください。
よいのだ、源氏。
Maybe that's why you moved to this remote island. Otherwise, you'd have to introduce yourself to all the neighbors every time you moved and let them know, hey, I'm a sex offender. I'm on a registry. Do that whole song and dance. But if you have no neighbors, don't got to worry about that.
私の犯した罪を思えば、今日までの日々はすべて贖罪のために必要な日々であったのだ。
Yeah, but look, isn't it great? You get to meet your fucking granddaughter who's also your daughter. Wow.
しかし、今日の奇跡は紛れもなく本物の奇跡でございます。彼女は誰の助けもなく、誰よりも最初に碑文を解いたのです。
よくぞあの難解な碑文を解けたな。
Alright, in your defense, Genji, you didn't give her any information directly related to solving the puzzle. It just pointed her in a helpful direction.
はい。
母の声によく似ておる。面影も母や娘を思い出す。
Like I said before, there's not a whole lot of fucking genetic information going around here, so there's only so many ways she can look.
紛れもなく、お前にはベアトリーチェの血が流れておる。
はい。若き日のクアドリアンのお嬢様の面影がよく残っております。
Who are they saying I look like?
ベアトリーチェ様、これまで
Yeah, Beatrice, you look
あ
like
なたにも
Beatrice.
秘密にしてきたことをどうかお許しください。あなたはベアトリーチェ様と親方様よりお生まれになったのです。
You're a bastard.
真実でございます。あなた様は今日まで両親のいない子として育てられてまいりました。
Kept you out of arm's reach, but within line of sight.
しかし
From,
本当の
from the
お
big
父
man
上
here.
は親方様。 そして本当のお母上はベアトリーチェ様なのでございます。
それは
We can go get some,
本
like,
当に
a paternity test done if you want.
はい。あなたは本当にベア
Though
トリ
if
ーチ
you
ェ
do do
様
that,
のご子孫でございます。
the doctors might have some questions about, you know, your genetic results. Which, in that case, you really shouldn't be dating Battler or George. Yeah, in your particular circumstance, you're really playing fucking Russian roulette with your kids at that point. Is such a strange fate really possible? I've dreamed about it. Dreamed about what it'd be like to be the Golden Witch, Beatrice. But that dream was for me alone. So, I dreamed that if I solved the epitaph, and carried out this ritual, I would revive as the true Beatrice. Is this really conceivable? That after I solved it, Beatrice actually did revive?
私が本当にベアトリーチェの血を。
はい。一切の紛れはございません。
Okay, but well, like, what's your birth name? We know that, like, Yasuda is, like, you know, your gospel house name, and Shannon is your work name, but also your, like, OC's, like, persona's name that you use at work too. We have more layers. Let's get to the core of this onion of a woman.
今日まで親子の愛情も知らず、さぞやおつらい思いをされてきたでしょう。にもかかわらず、本当にご立派に育たれました。
Well, yeah, she's good in some aspects, but definitely lacking in some others.
皆さんは知ってたんですか？私のことを。
Oh, yeah. Genji, Kumasawa, and even Nanjo were noddlessly worded. Nodded wordlessly. Really fucking butchered that one. Now that I think about it, that explains so many things. I was always, in some way, special. Genji, and especially Kumasawa, always treated me very kindly. Then, does that mean that this is a promised day, which would eventually have come no matter what? I don't understand anything anymore. It's all God's miracle. The promised fate had led me to this day.
ベアトリーチェ。
I mean, there's no guarantee that it was inevitable, but, like, you know, if Kinzo was, like, on his deathbed, Genji might have relented and, you know, just hand-waved the process and, you know, just got the end result here.
いや、ユウ。そなたに与えようと思っていた名前だ。
あなたの本当の名前でございます。
ユウ、今こそそなたにベアトリーチェより与えられたすべてを返そう。あの黄金もそれによって生み出された後ろ宮家のすべてもそなたに返そう。
You know, not a very common girl's name, but, you know, you do you, I guess. Leon? Kinzo stuck out a wrinkled hand. On his finger was a ring with the one-winged eagle crest, which was the symbol of the Ushiromiya family head. He pulled it off, grasped it tightly, then held it out to me. I didn't know what to do. Slowly, as though they were being drawn forward, I held out my hands, palms up. After pressing his fist against my cupped hand, Kinzo slowly opened his and let the ring drop.
我が子、リオイよ。今日までお前の運命をもてあそんだのはすべて私の罪のせいだ。
Man, definitely put all your creative energy into that first name, huh? Like, I mean, no, not even that. Because, you know, Beatrice too was your daughter. You know, just phoned it in with all your, you know, kids with your actual wife's names. You know, just nothing. And then, like, yeah, I'm gonna name my daughter Lion. But Leon. But the spelling's different because it's more creative that way. Kinzo would be the kind of person who would name a kid Ladasha with, like, fucking an A with a hyphen in there.
許しておくれ。そなたは今や我が指輪を受け継ぎ、正しく新しい後宮家の当主である。
Like Ashley, but fucking spell it weird.
あの黄金はすべ
Like a white
て
suburban
そな
mom.
たのもの。好きに使い、今日までの日々の辛き思い出をわずかでも癒すがいい。あの程度の黄金、私の犯した罪には到底及びはせぬが。
Well, that explains how Beatrice got the ring in all the games.
それでも、
Yeah,
そ
just
なた
had
を
it from the beginning.
慰めるくらいはできるはずだ。
ありがとうございます。
And I guess that would mean Kinzo was just wearing a duplicate during his time before, you know, he kicked it.
リオン、最後に一つだけ頼みがある。
何でしょうか。
私を呼んでくれぬか。
Papa.
すみません。今なんと。
Don't mind me.
私をお父様と呼んでくれぬか。呼べぬ気持ちはわかる。私はそなたに何も父らしいことをしなかった。
Well, you may be her biological father, but you're not really her dad, you know.
そしてそなたもまた父など知らずに育った。とても口にできる言葉ではないと分かっている。そしてそれを求める資格が私にないことも分かっている。だがそれを承知で頼む。
Maybe she can meet you in the middle and call you Gramps.
それさえ聞けたならもう私に何の未練もない。
After being asked like that, was it possible for me to refuse? Even if I am his child, I cannot see him as my father. So, I felt a strong resistance to saying that word. But, I decided that saying it was the right thing to do. Only God can truly forgive sins. But, though it may be temporary, people can be saved by the forgiveness of others.
お父様。
That awkward word made Kinzo laugh. Drops of silver fell from both his eyes. At that moment, the shadow that had covered his face was wiped away.
ありがとうリオ、我が子よ。そしてベアトリーチェ、最後に許しを請う機会を与えてくれてありがとう。
And look, you got a daughter and a son, all in the same person, depending on which persona they want to be wearing that day.
もちろんこれ式で許されたとは思いは
So
せ
you can do the whole gambit of activities, you know, when no one's around. All sorts of, you know, child-parent bonding. The wholesome kind, the proper kind, unlike the other kind you did with Beatrice too.
続きは地獄の豪華で焼かれながらとし
Sure
よう
will.
ではないか。後ろ宮金蔵、我が生に一切の未練なし。もはや何もなし。心残りもやり残しも何もなし。
Good for you, bud. Can we go now? Looking up at the heavens, Kinzo spread his arms as though facing an applauding audience, laughing at the top of his lungs. was the final pleasure, known only to those who had been released from all regrets of this world. Kinzo's laugh weakened, and when it disappeared, he dropped to his knees like a puppet with its strings cut, and slowly fell to the ground.
お、親方様。
南條先生。
Though their master had fallen, they walked up to him slowly. They already knew. Kinzo's soul had already burned itself out. After checking Kinzo's pulse, Nanjo shook his head and stood back up.
大往生だ。
What a fucking thespian. Jesus Christ, my guy.
何の心残りもないだろう。
Just gave himself like a brain aneurysm and just, ah!
親方様は、あるいはもうずっと以前にお亡くなりになっていたのです。それを親方様の魔法と執念で今日までを流らえていたに過ぎないのです。
Nah, he's just a drama queen.
そしてベアトリーチェ様に謝罪する機会をようやく得て全てを終えられたのでしょう。
安らかにお眠りください。
Nah, Kinzo's going to fucking hell.
あなたは罪を償われたと信じます。
Nope.
お父様。
That was the one night reunion between me and my father, and also our final farewell. Like, if you didn't need therapy before, Jesus Christ, take some time off. Nanjo, refer to a specialist. Like, this is some heavy shit.
この黄金はすべてあなたのものです。
Like, I'm a pretty, I don't want to say emotionless person, but I don't let things get to me easy. But, like, if this was dropped in my lap, I'd be like, whoa, let's, like, time out. Time to, like, this is a lot.
現金化をご希望でしたら、そのように手配することもできます。
200億円の価値があるそうです。もうあんたにはこの世で金で叶えられぬ夢はありませんな。
急にこんな大金が手に入っても使い道に困ってしまいますね。
I mean, yeah. Fucking lawyer up.
お金で手
Talk to
に
an
入れられる
investment
ものの
firm.
中に私の欲しいものはありません。
But you should still invest it, though.
ですからこれは当分はそのままにしておこうと思います。
Yeah, because then if we do anything with it, it's on the books and we have to pay taxes. Of course, I'm glad I have a lot of money. However, money can't heal the pain in my heart. I just want him to come back.
かしこまりました。では、そのようにいたします。それから、この鍵を。
これは
この地下貴賓室へ至る鍵です。これを使えば、もう仕掛けを使う必要はありません。
Okay, thank you. I was about to say, like, did she have to do this every time? She was the only one who knew the answer to the epitaph's riddle, and the only key to this place was now hers. At this point, she truly was the master of this golden VIP
あ
room.
なたはもはや、この六軒島の主です。この島のすべての秘
Yeah, she
密
unlocked her shortcut.
お知りになられる資格があります。
クワドリアンのことも
Yeah.
話すべきでしょうな。
あなたのお母上が
From the sounds of it, the place she was born, too.
隠し館です。お噂くらいはお聞きに
Leon,
なっ
that
た
is.
ことがあるでしょう。
クワドリアン。
この島の両端には2つの屋敷があります。一方は私たちのよく知るお屋敷、もう一方は
Mhm.
クワドリアンと呼ばれる隠し屋敷でございます。
So, like, Genji, Kumasawa, are you guys like the only people who maintain it?
この島の地下には戦争中に作られた基地の跡があるのです。親方様は
Yeah,
そ
some
れを
cool
利
fucking
用され
spelunking
て
tunnels.
島の両端を 行き来されておりました。
Can't really call it urban exploration because, you know, a tunnel system under a deserted island isn't really urban, but, you know, it's man-built, so gray area, but hell yeah, fucking running around tunnel systems, super fun.
この部屋の奥に地下道があり、それを進めば島の反対側のクワドリアンの地下につながります。
You've unlocked fast travel.
親
Congratulations.
方様しかご存知でない秘密の屋敷です。もちろんその屋敷ももはや新しき当主のものです。
And if it's hidden, we don't gotta pay property taxes on it.
あんたのお母さんが暮らしていた屋敷だ。
I know there's a quirk in, like, how property taxes are calculated in Japan, where people, like, build the first floor of their house, then call it complete, and they'll have to pay property taxes on that. That'll be what's on the books. And then they'll immediately build a second floor right on top of it.
一度
That
行ってみる
is,
のも
like,
いいだろう。
untaxed. Well, untaxable.
私のお母さん。
I lived alone my whole life. The only person I ever felt like calling mother is Kumasawa-san, who always helped me out. The mansion where a mother had never met or seen lived. Who in the world am I?
何でもお尋ねください。今のあなたには全てを知る資格がございます。
今は
Fair.
何が何だかわからなくて、何から聞けばいいかもわかりません。
Yeah, if all this was happening, I would probably just throw up.
でもきっとたくさん聞きたいことがこれから見つかると思います。
Now to get like the spinning head and just go pale and just go. "What?"
その時教えてください。
かしこまりました。
Well, yeah, you're the one who's. Well, I was about to say you're the one who's
そんなに
technically
かしこ
paying
まら
them
れる
now,
と
but
居心地が悪いです。
again, it's probably like Kraus or whatever. He's not seeing Kraus like hold the purse strings for Kinzo, so.
これまでと同じ口調で話しかけてくれた方が嬉しいです。
それをお望みでしたらそのようにもいたします。
私もその方が気楽です。
You were gonna do it anyway, Kumasawa.
さて、これからどうするんだ、源氏さん。金蔵さんは亡くなった。
Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. You have a dead body. You gotta like call the police.
旦那様と奥様に
Well, not really the
お
police.
亡く
At
なりに
least
なられたこ
like
とをお伝えします。
in doctor ambulance to like report a death.
そしてリオン様が正式な当主後継者であることをお伝えしなくてはなりません。
Well, we know how that went.
今日よりあなたが後ろ宮家当主なのですから。
私が当主なんてそんな。
Yeah, it seems like things kind of got swept up in the whole pretend Kinzo was still alive thing.
それに次期当主はクラウス様では。
Does it say that in paper anywhere?
碑文の謎を解いた者が次期当主である。
Does Kinzo have a will that says
こ
that?
れは
Okay,
お
thanks.
預かりしている遺言状にも明記してございます。親方様の最後の命令があなたに全てを引き継ぐことなので
I
す。
mean, even if they want to challenge you, it's not like you'll have an issue paying legal fees.
待ってください。お気持ちは嬉しいですが、私には次期当主なんて務まりませんし。
Well, yeah, you haven't like gone to school for business.
そんな退任、とてもお引き受けできません。その役目はやはり
Yeah,
クラウス
can
様
we
が
get like a
引
bit
き
of
継
a
がれる
Regency
方が
Council?
いいと思います。
よろしいのですか。
私は今日ここで自分人なら誰でも知っている両
Yeah,
親の
there's a lot to unpack here.
私には生まれながらにしてそれがなかった。それを今日ここで得ることができました。それだけで私
If I suddenly became the Ushiromiya family head, how would Kraus-sama react? How angry would Madame be? I don't want to become the head if it means making them feel like that. Today, I learned who I am, who gave birth to me, how and when. These are things I want to learn from them as time goes by. That alone is enough.
私はリオン、そして黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェです。
Who is also Yasuda,
それが分
who
かっ
is
ただけ
also
で
Shen in the canon.
私は十分です。私は当主を主張するつもりはありません。その役目はクラウス様に。
それは後宮家当主としてのご命令ですか？
Yeah, he can be the face of the organization, sure.
はい。
かしこまりました、親方様。ではそのようにいたします。
今夜のこともすべて内密にしてください。私はこれからも私のままでいます。
Well, yeah, otherwise you'd have to pay inheritance tax on that fucking 20 billion yen.
私が後宮家の当主になって、あるいは黄金を手に入れて、やりたいことなど何もないのですから。
And I'm pretty sure you'd make some like poor like clerical worker at like the Japanese tax revenue offices with like head fucking spin if like that notice came across his desk. I just
この島でこれまでと同
But
じ
then
よう
again,
に
you're rich now, which means you don't have to pay taxes.
待
So
っていたいだけなのです。これまでと同じに
good for you, I guess.
何も変わらずに、それだけが私の望みです。
かしこまりました、親方様。今夜のことはすべてこの場限りの秘密といたします。熊沢、南條先生、新しき当主様はそうご希望でいらっしゃいます。
That's a tight lips, Kumasawa.
あんたがそうしたいというなら、私は何の異論もない。金蔵さんの遺言はあんたに全てを委ねるだ。そのあんたがそれを望むなら、私たちには何の文句もない。
これまでと同じようにと言いますけれど、本当にこれまでと同じようにこの島で生活を続けられるの
Yeah,
で
you
す
still want to get fucking like verbally smacked down by Nazi?
これまでと何も変わらず。
はい、今夜のことは秘密にします。ここも黄金も封印します。もしもお金が必要になったら、その時改めて相談することにします。私にはそれで十分です。
かしこまりました。ここに至る仕掛けも鍵もすべてあなただけのものでございます。
How does she get in with the key?
そして今夜のことは
Like, where's the door?
私ども一同秘密にすることを
Is
誓い
it
ま
just
す。
like a boulder behind the chapel with like a keyhole in it, like the fucking rock with the outlet on it in Stardust Crusaders?
次期当主はクラウス様となられますが、私の中では真の当主様はあなただけでございます。
If she puts the key in it, she becomes magnetic.
ご命令
I'm
に
pretty sure
従
that's how
い
that stand works.
これからもこれまでと同じように振る舞います
I also forget which stand it was.
が、
I
いつ
think
で
it
も
was
ご
one of
用
the
命ください。
one of the Egyptian gods at that point.
私の主はあなただけなのでございます。
ありがとうございます。
A vast mountain of gold and the ring of the Ushirmiya family head. The dress of the portrait Beatrice. And I became the true Beatrice, the Golden Witch. Right here in my very own Golden Land. If I think about it, not much has actually changed. After all, I've always been the Golden Witch. I've just had a few more people acknowledge that. November 29th, the day I became a true witch.
ああ、我こそは我にして我らなり。我は黄金の魔女この六軒島の真の支配者にして、無限の黄金の所有者。
It might as well be endless, but it's not. It most certainly
でも
finite.
何も満たされず、たった一人の思い人が帰ってきてくれる日を待っています。
And then the curtains drop. Okay, yeah, but still, how did we go from here to killing everyone? Question mark? Like, where was that definitive transition point? Was it like spur of the moment when Battler showed up? That's the main question for me. But for now, that is where we're getting in here for today. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you guys on next time for the next episode of Umineko. I need to go do some laundry because I'm like literally out of all clothes. I was wearing my avocado socks in my uniform today, which is most certainly out of regs, but not like anyone's gonna be seeing my socks anyway, so it didn't matter. But I am in desperate need of laundry. So, catch you guys next time. Bye. Mwah.